Hi, welcome to this video, and today I'm working on my Soundcraft 16 channel Spirit Studio. Back in the day, this is an old mixer when they were made in England, and so I've had this mixer for a couple of years now, and this mixer was well used when I got it. I think I paid $300, maybe not that much, I can't remember now. I think I got it really cheap. I think I might have even gotten for under $200. Um, but anyways, I had issues with this mixer. A couple things that I tried to do. Um, I tried to replace some of the socketed chips. Here you can see the sockets. I'll try to focus on that. I guess I can't focus on it. Try this focus. Okay, there. So yeah, these are socketed chips right here that I put in sockets. But soldering is a bit of a mess on the back. It's only got trace on the back side of the board, which is good. Makes it a lot easier. But as you can see, there's I put these resistors in the back right there. See? So anyways, it's pretty messy. So when you're soldering, it's easy for the old trace and the new solder sometimes just don't stick for whatever reason. So sometimes you have to scrape down to the copper, and in some cases you even have to add a little jumper wire. So this is like Teflon coated, a little, silver. It's actually silver Teflon wire with Teflon coating. I got a bunch of it on eBay, and I actually was using this for antenna, like an antenna on my radio. But I don't know what AWG it is. It's quite tiny, but it's nice wire, and it makes good jumpers. Little jumpers. Sometimes you need to put a little jumper in there. So anyways, I have to go through this whole board, and make sure that everything's solid. This is a group channel board. The group channel, there's 4 group channels on this mixer. And let's flip the mixer over. So I'm having issues with 2 channels, 2 group channels, and everything, well, the audio at least seems to work on these, the audio, the EQ function, the sends and all that kind of stuff I haven't really checked out. I was having issue with the sends, so I don't know what it was. I was having issues with the sends and stuff, the effect sends, I think, or something like that. It wasn't working the way my other Soundcraft mixer board works. So anyways, I don't know what it is. But anyways, there's the LEDs, and I'm still having issues with the LEDs on this channel doesn't work, and the LEDs on 2 channels don't work. But everything else seems to work, like all the audio seems to work fine. So as you can see, I replaced some of the capacitors on here. Well, all of them on this, like on some of the channels. On all the channel boards, I replaced all the capacitors from the original ones. You can see. The audio, surprisingly, I haven't noticed like much of a change in the audio tone, really. So these faders are pretty much stiff as, really, really stiff. Um, so the old grease is like really stiff in there. These two blue adjusters are for adjusting the LED when they work. um, this is where the ribbon cable goes, right here. It's a 24 pin ribbon cable, right here. Um, these are the faders, and this mixer has got a lot of use. And the faders are the big problem. Well, one of the big problems. So um, I had to replace a few of the resistors there. You can see I replaced a few resistors here. A little burnt area, so something shorted there. And so, anyways, yeah, that's a group channel. So let's focus back in on this. So, anyways, just to let you know, this is an easy way. This is an easy way to work on your mixer. Is I'll put some music on. So you can see the mixer. This is the way I'm working on my Soundcraft mixer. I have this like sort of little table that I set out, and I actually put a little carpet on the top of the table. And it's not really a table; it's just basically a storage box with a wood top, and then I put this little carpet on there, and it's just to work on stuff. Um, so it's nice level, and I can have a nice light over it to work to see. So anyways, let's talk about the faders. The faders are in terrible shape, okay? Um, you don't want to know what kind of gunk came out of these faders, okay? The nice part about the faders is that you can take your pliers. You can take a pair of pliers like that, and there's like little pinch points on the faders, like you can just pinch the faders, and then they'll come apart. So I'll show you the pinch point on the faders. These are faders made by ALPS or Alps or something like that. So here's the faders. Let's focus in again on this. Okay, so here's the fader, and I'll try to show you the pinch point if I can. So here's the fader, and you can just take your pliers like that, and you can squeeze these together like this. Not very hard, just squeeze them lightly, and just go around the whole fader and squeeze these all together. Boom, 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 all the way around. And then you can just take your like utility knife, and you can just pop the back off, pop this metal back off, and then you can pop this, you know, little brown, it's like I don't know what it is. It's like plastic. So this black brown layer off, and then the fader comes completely apart, and you can take the slider out, and then you can clean it you can clean the fader inside properly with alcohol, and then put it all back together. And then what I use is I use a flat screwdriver. Once it's all back together, it just snaps into place. You can use a flat screwdriver, and you just twist these back. I don't know if you can see that, but you just twist them, and then that locks everything back into place. So I've actually done most of my faders, and you'd not believe the crap that comes out of these faders. In fact, I was thinking of adding some cloth across the fader just to protect it from more stuff getting in it when I put it back together. You know, like a little bit of material across here just to cover it. You know how like you have like little overlapping material that just goes across there on some of the newer faders, just to protect it from getting crap in there. But there was like a mixture of grease. Um, I don't know how grease got in there, but there was grease in the faders, as well as like dust balls and stuff. So pretty nasty overall. And so yeah, I'm not going off a schematic for these. I'm trying to fix the. Here you can see I have the master section right here. This is the master board right here, and I have the power connected right here. There's the power right there. And then I have the ribbon cable. We can take the ribbon cable completely out of the mixer. And there's another like kind of a 2-pin cable connector on the top. And I don't even know. You don't need to have it connected for it to work. It's numbered, like so all the channels are numbered and the group channels are numbered. It just basically connects all the group channels. It doesn't connect to the main board. It just connects from the group channels through to all of the, in my case, 16 channels, single, mono channels or whatever. So you can see this is main board, group channel, and then I've got 2 single channels connected. And I'm running audio into the 2 single channels, and you can see the LEDs are working on this group channel, and they're working on the main board. But on this channel, which is one of the group channels, the audio is working on it, but the LEDs are not working. So I've been going through with my multimeter and checking the voltages at different points. I check the voltages at different points on the board, and I've been grounding. For a ground, I ground to the body of the potentiometer. That's a good grounding point. It seems to give you the best reading. So I ground to the body of the potentiometer, and then I take my measurement. So anyways, so far, like I said, the audio works fine. I'm getting differences in voltages somewhere that I'm checking. So I'm basically going against the good working board and checking against the board that's like partially functioning right here. And I'm trying to troubleshoot it that way. So anyways, I just thought I'd show everybody that you can do this. You can take your, if you want to troubleshoot your board, it's really hard to do it when it's like in the case. So just like if you've got a good table, you could take more precautions than I am taking. You could put like rubber mats underneath there, like in case you're worried about something shorting. But so it's really nice because what you can do is uh, you can isolate things, right? So and you can really crank up the volume and see if you've got any kind of interference at all or any kind of noise on the board. So it's nice to have this set up. So what I do is I install the group channel and then I crank the volume on the headphones all the way up to full, and then I take out the signal, and then you can hear if there's any noise anywhere. And I'm telling you right now that a lot of the noise was caused by dirty faders. And once I clean the fader, the channel becomes quiet. And so it's pretty good. I don't know how old this board is, maybe 15, 20 years old, but it's pretty quiet. And it's nice and quiet actually. And like I said, I did all the group channels. I did the main channel, and I did four mono channels with new caps. So and then I cleaned all the faders, and now I'm going back. I'm almost done. I'm probably done. Like there was audio issues on two group channels, and I fixed the audio on the two group channels that were having problems. So all that's left is I have LED problems on two of the group channels, but everything else is working. So the four group channels are working for audio. Mainboard's working. All of the 16 channels are working for audio. I think I had one issue, but I think it's fixed now. So it's basically all working now. And I'm going through and I'm cleaning each fader. The other issue with the faders is that the brushes in the faders are pretty worn. So the faders got really good use, and the brushes are worn on the faders. So they are still working, but you can tell that the faders are not gonna last, 20 more years, I doubt, without some needing to be replaced. So I looked, and you can actually buy the faders from Germany for about $7 a piece plus shipping. So that's quite expensive. So um, I think you can get group shipping on that. So it might just be $7 per fader. So if you bought like 10 faders, it wouldn't be much more than $10 shipping. So it would be more cost effective to buy more than one fader. But I don't know. I'm probably not going to bother replacing the faders. Um, the other thing too is that I didn't have enough. I kind of mismatched capacitors on two of the boards that I'm twinning together. Like I'm kind of twinning them together, and so the gain is not exactly perfect on two of the channels. But everything else, I'll just tell you about this mixing board. It's a Soundcraft Spirit Studio 16, and the preamps. I love the preamps on this board. It's got a nice EQ. I just like the overall tone of it, and I just generally use it every day, just for pumping audio through. And I have three mixers. I've another Soundcraft, but it's just like a portable Spirit Studio, or Spirit something or other. It's just a small one. And then I have another like portable mixer. But this is my main mixer. So anyways, I feel good because I'm finally going around, and it was doing some horrible crackling at times, and especially gets worse in the like when there's a lot of moisture content in the air. And so I'm pretty sure I fixed like most of the solder issues. There was like some bad solder joints, so I'm pretty sure I went through and I got almost every solder joint. Like I literally go over it with a magnifying glass and a flashlight, and checking continuity. And also you can tell like the boards are super flexible. So there's a danger if you flex the board too much. It's very thin and flexible. So that's kind of like, you can see how the trace would easily crack. on the back of that. So anyways, just to let you know, like if you're working on one of these old Soundcraft boards, that this is really easy to work on it outside of the case. You just pull each board out, take all the knobs off, and as long as you grab your main channel, at least one group channel, and then you can work on each individual single channel, and you can work on the group channel, and when it's out of the case, you can easily check it with a voltmeter, or even add an oscilloscope on it and look at the signal through an oscilloscope. I had my scope on it yesterday, and I was looking at the audio signal, and so it's pretty good. I'm not an expert in electronics, but I just have a lot of fun, as it's just a fun hobby for me. So anyways, I hope you like this video, and check out my other videos. Thanks for watching.